How's it going, everybody? JT here on behalf of the weekly or the daily general discussion on our Ethereum on Reddit. If you're watching this on TikTok, you might be kind of confused, but I'm streaming there just for the heck of it for this day. This is Wednesday, the 26th of May. Normally we do these shows on Fridays. So we are also trying to stream on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account and you want to give us a follow, we need like 5 more people to follow this page right here, EV Mavericks, all one word podcast. So this is all dedicated to the Ethereum landscape. I probably won't stream to my personal TikTok very often with this account, but I'm going to do it today because it's my birthday week. And when it's your birthday week, you can do anything you want as long as your wife lets you. And she said it's okay for me to come stream. So that's what I'm doing right now. Normally we do these on Fridays, but this week is kind of special, and I just want to make sure that we got our show in. If you want to check us out, you can find us at dailydoots.eth. This is our website right here, and you can subscribe to the podcast. We're also streaming right now on YouTube and Twitch and the EV Mavericks X handle. So if you got your Twitter dusted off and fired up, you can give us a follow over there. That's where we usually stream for these shows. So what's it all about? This is all about the best of the week of the daily general discussion on our Ethereum. If you got a Reddit account, come and hang out. It's a great conversation. Whether or not you own Ethereum, that's what this show is dedicated to. Not just the Ethereum protocol, but also the Reddit Ethereum community. Has been that way for years now. And so we got a great vibe over there, a lot of very knowledgeable people. If you've ever wanted to learn about it, you want to find some good teachers, or if you just want to stop banging your head on Twitter, come stop by the daily general discussion and the main page on Reddit at our Ethereum. Now, this is a read-along reaction series. If you want to follow along, you can head to dailydoots.com. Designed and produced by our very own Hanny Abu. And a big thanks to Turkey Troll for capturing and curating each one of these days' Doots and the A word for this most beloved weekly list. And so subscribe to us on all of your favorite platforms and listen, because it's worth it. It's a good time. As some of you maybe heard this week, David Hoffman from the Bankless podcast has sold all of his ETH. And, of course, he got a lot of crap for it. I'm kind of in the camp that people change and times change and allegiances change. And I don't even know if, investment theses change. And I think that, for what it's worth, David did a lot for the Ethereum community over the last few years, and he'll still be around on the edges of it. I wish him all the best. I don't have as much disdain as some people might. And I think there's also a lot of level-headed takes out there, that it's not the end of the world. He's a person, and everybody's entitled to do what they want. And so the character, people try to character assassinate people whenever things like that happen. I don't know. I don't think it's very fruitful. So, David, best of luck to you in whatever ventures that Bankless is going to do. And I know that you guys have laid off quite a few people. Those are good people. I've met a few of them. They've been very sweet. Once upon a time, I applied to work at Bankless. And I enjoyed cooking barbecue for them down in Austin, Texas at Permissionless once upon a time. David's been to my backyard to have barbecue, and it's just kind of an honor, The guy's got hustle, and so does Ryan, and I dig people with hustle. And when you're putting your face and your likeness out there, of course, you've got advertisers, you got to put food on the table, and people can read into it however they want to, but it's your show, and you guys are doing it your way, always have, and best of luck to you. So, I got nothing but love for the Bankless team, and that'll probably be an unpopular opinion, but I don't give a crap. All right, so there's that. All right, what else? And Anthony Sassano, he came back and did a refuel. And it was good to hear his voice again. He's taking some time off and he's working on himself and doing some things. 10 years in crypto will cause people to, figure out, hey, maybe they need to take breaks. We try to do this show on a weekly basis, and we don't do near the numbers that those guys do. And it is a lot of work. You might not think it is, but trying to carve out time and trying to be consistent with it and doing all that in Anthony's situation and our situations, we don't have sponsors, right? And we're not trying to get a real big payroll going or anything like that to where it'll replace our job. So it's all love. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to start off the show with that before going into our weekly list. So this is going to be it's going to be a nice, simple episode. Nothing but Reddit. And I read Reddit so you don't have to. All right, good stuff. The Weekly Doots live stream is all about showcasing the best of the week from the Ethereum daily general discussion. And if you want to read along, head to dailydoots.com. Well, let's get right into this, the morning roundup. This is from Friday, by the way. Ethereum chimes in, Alexis Keff. David QHR says that the price is $21.42. And Frank the Tank with that ratio at 0.0285. Weekly haiku courtesy of JS Tears. Hey, twitching the wrong knob, trusting in Alice and Bob, safely stored as a blob. Hey, there you go. How about that? All right. And Ethereal News by A.B. Kothup, formerly of Week in Ethereum with Evan Van Ness. A.B. Kothup is a fellow moderator. The ETH Daily notes from 20th of May. DevCon 8 early bird tickets are on sale. If you want to look at that, there's a post on X. It's going to be in Mumbai, India. All right. Layer Zero publishes a full post-mortem. Let's see. This was based off of, we're sharing our completed post-mortem on the April 18th incident, prepared with Mandiant and CrowdStrike. We are publishing both an executive summary and the full report on the link below. They've worked with hundreds of partners. There's a reason over $12 billion has moved across the network in the past 4 weeks, and why the most valued assets insurers have stood by our side. They believe in us. All right. You can check out those headlines and more. Let's do one more. Oh, Vitalik outlines privacy efforts. Short-term things being done to shift Ethereum towards native privacy. Here's 3 bullets to take away. AA plus Fossil makes privacy protocol transactions, among many other things, first class with strong inclusion. The key nonces, it looks like there's another link to a tweet, and then access layer work. So the key nonces, EIP 8250 for frame transactions. Okay. So you can read more of that, more of those posts over at A.B. Kothup's site, ethdaily.io. Been staying at it real consistently. Thanks for taking over that news beat. All right. Alexis Keff, one of our heavy hitters on our leaderboard. Let's look at our leaderboard, by the way. Coming in at number 10, Ethical Trade. Aiden Cairo, the A word at number 9 at 123. Henny Abu at 139. Crypto Owl Currency at 140. JS Tears at 156. Tricky Troll at 180. Benito 2030 at 184. And Superfizz at number 3 spot crosses the 250 mark. LogrisTheBard at 261, and Harog at the top of the list at 358. That is your leaderboard for this week. Let's go right into Alexis Keff introduces a major UX improvement. Clear signing. Hey, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go live on Discord. Let's listen to a little bit of music, and I'll get that fired up so our friends on Discord can get notified.
If Vitalik took time off, we would lose a great researcher.
A great mind.
And he's not just writing about Ethereum, he's writing about collusion systems,
crypto economics.
That would be a tremendous loss to the world, but the Ethereum machine would just keep chugging. 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 Just keep chugging.
All right. Good to go. Such a banger. We had a guy on Reddit named Alexander that made this song. All right, here we go. Clear signing is now live. Alexis Keff introduces a major UX improvement, clear signing. All right, so first of all, what is clear signing? Well, it is a new industry-wide security upgrade designed to end blind signing, where users are forced to approve unreadable strings of code. Shout out to Grid Plus Lattice One for helping to slay that dragon. By using new open standards like ERC 7730, transactions are translated into plain, human-readable language, so you know exactly what you are authorizing. Code developed by companies like Ledger, MetaMask, and the Ethereum Foundation, this initiative aims to prevent the billions in losses caused by users signing malicious or opaque technical data. Okay, and there's an article listed at the block if you want to check it out. There's also a good YouTube video explaining the whole thing in simple terms. And the announcement tweet by the Ethereum Foundation, let's give that a little bit of love. Yep, a little repost action there. An open standard to end blind signing, making human readable transactions default. This effort brings a major UX and security upgrade to transaction signing on Ethereum. Today, signing a transaction can still mean approving a string of unreadable hex, otherwise known as blind signing. Blind signing has contributed to billions in ecosystem losses. Yes, that is absolutely a fact. Notorious issues with that. With clear signing, transactions can be shown in plain language instead of opaque technical data. An Ethereum working group is introducing the open approach to fix this. Contributors include wallets and hardware, such as Ledger, Trezor, ZK Nox HQ, MetaMask and Wallet Connect, Cifrin, infrastructure from Fireblocks HQ and Zama, tooling from Sourceify ETH and Argo Torg. Individual builders are bringing information, and the Ethereum Foundation's $1 trillion security initiative, with the Ethereum Foundation acting as a neutral steward. The effort builds on existing clear signing work in the ecosystem, including the approach pioneered by Ledger. It introduces ERC 7730, an attestation framework in ERC 8176, and some other information available at dailydoots.com. All right, Sargos just presented their very own Ethereum file system. Sargos is somebody that I have met in real life and has been on this show. It's Carnley is his last name. I presented my Ethereum file system project at Web3 Weekends in Chicago on May 8th, 2026. I was really nervous, but I think it turned out very well. And this is
I'm James. This
James
is my
Carnley
Ethereum
right
file system project, which I'll be referring to as EFS from now on. A little bit about me. I worked for over a decade at Epic, which is a large medical software company in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a pretty cool place. Disney engineers designed the campus. Great to take a tour one day. I am from the crypto class of 2017. So fun fact, I used my Christmas bonus to buy Bitcoin on December 27th, 2017, which is a few days before everything crashed.
Yeah, so you can check that out. This is at the Ethereum File System YouTube channel. Looks like I'm going to be, the EV Mavericks is going to be 7th subscriber. So, yeah, he was, I remember him talking to, I want to say he might have been, I think I introduced Danny Ryan to him at ETH Denver once upon a time, and he had a white paper. This was 2 or 3 years ago, but looks like he's really brought it up to speed a bit. he goes on, the web we use today is rented infrastructure, so when platforms die, we lose our culture. To fix this, I'm building EFS, an unruggable on-chain index for public data that uses Ethereum as the CPU and IPFS as the hard drive. I gave a live demo of the EFS web client, showed how shared namespaces and trustless lenses work, and laid out the long-term vision for a decentralized cypherpunk operating system. If you're interested in building a credibly neutral internet that will outlast us, check out the presentation and let's collaborate. All right, great job, James. James is definitely an OG EV Maverick, one of the original to mint. User Zepoid. Oh, I forgot to mention his Doots score for this week. He's a Dooter number 3 for this week. Okay, got it. Good. All right, let's see. Zepoid is a Dooter number 1. This is a number 1 Dooter getting on the weekly show. Fantastic. Well, that's it. Clarity passed the markup and is out of committee. On to the Senate floor. Okay, the scoop. Here it is. Last-minute negotiations between Banking Committee Republicans and Democrats over multiple amendments were brokered this morning in an effort to secure bipartisan support for today's vote on the Clarity Act. Multiple sources tell me. However, the compromise came at the cost of a specific change to a Senator Loomis amendment that removed language from Section 301 of the bill referencing the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, also known as the BRCA, disappointing some DeFi advocates who say the move could strip out critical protections for software developers as the bill moves forward. Notably, Virginia Democrat Mark Warner did not vote to advance the bill, despite positively referencing the changes during the markup. That said, Senator Bernie Moreno said during the hearing that there's still work to be done on Section 301, suggesting discussions will continue in the coming weeks as the Banking GOP and the Senate Agricultural Committees work to merge and the text ahead of a full Senate vote. Something to watch. I think I remember hearing somebody that was in the know on this. It might have even been a Bankless podcast that basically said that without a whole lot of wiggle room on time, this thing needs to get passed. If it's going to get passed, it needs to get passed before the Senate takes a break in August, I think, and that he feels like there's about 7 days or 14 days of wiggle room, and any significant delays is probably going to make it very difficult to pass. But he said, and I can't remember his name, but he said the fact that it passed markup gives him confidence of a 60-40 that it will pass. So let's hope. All right, Substantial Hurry 25 cooks up some hopium and hits us with an outstanding quote. Substantial Hurry 25 is a Dooter number 5 this week. Well, let me cook up some hopium right now. Let's see if I got something for you.
We have pizzas, we have 300 hamburgers, many French fries.
Okay, I think we have to accept that we are no longer the frontier of tech, and this speculative premium has moved to AI. I think most would agree that appetite has been allocated towards AI when taking on units of risk. I also think that global liquidity is still tight. We may not be tightening at the same rate of change, but money supply is still not expansionary. Inflation seems to be making a return, if anything. Jobs are down, and the economy is K-shaped. Retail is hurting and burned from previous cycles. Until excess liquidity returns, we don't get an easy bid. But we are seeing healthy adoption of the Ethereum blockchain. Institutional adoption is no longer in the future. It is here. ETF flows have picked back up. The tech is relatively mature. Regulation is clarifying. There is large growth of stable coins and tokenized treasuries in particular. So, to me, The real two questions become, does the liquidity in AI rotate into crypto again? And will the value accrual be to the tokens and protocols or the banks and fintechs that adopt the infrastructure? Those are really good questions. As the AI trade becomes more and more concentrated in consensus, I believe that the IPOs of Anthropic and XAI may prove to be the narrative saturation point. Markets are physiologically driven, and once access is opened up, VCs, treasuries, institutional investors, they lose their comparative advantage and seek out, quote, the next thing in order to satisfy the belief that they are, quote, ahead of the market to satisfy their underlying fund participants' desires of premium capital return. I just want to clarify, the OP said markets are physiologically driven. I think it's psychologically driven, but maybe I could be corrected in the comments. Let's see. Keep going. So this exit liquidity has the potential to enter crypto. We still need to remember how small our industry is compared to equities, and that we offer this outsized return on capital. Maybe we have a sexy new narrative as AI converges with blockchain, but more importantly is the financial incentives from my perspective. We will find a new narrative following price movement. The second question of value accrual to token or finance incumbents is our fight to face. We are the stakeholders of this network and should be advocating for the value accrual to be the underlying token of the asset we hold. To support the ideological vision of decentralization, we need to capture the economic surplus generated by on-chain networks. My view is that we want to be the invisible infrastructure that is neutral, but not give away our bargaining power towards a future that we want. We cannot be passive observers as the incentives of BlackRock, JP Morgan, etc. prevail. We worked too hard to get to this point. We must move away from attacking TradFi to capture value and towards defending DeFi to hold value. We must ensure ETH is used for settlement. The activity on the network equals value accrual. Layer 2s pay real rent to the mainnet, preventing abstracting layers from bypassing ETH demand. For example, USD-denominated stablecoins look like they will be required to be backed by HQLAs off-chain. But what if we could create a parallel ETH-backed mechanism or ETH-based dispute resolution pools for if anything breaks, such as bridges? I think this space has the two camps of, quote, in it for the tech, unquote, and, quote, in it for the economics, unquote, for far too long. We need to realize that if we are in it for the tech, we need to defend the economic. And if we are in it for the economics, we need to defend the tech. Would love to hear the community thoughts on this. And I want to re-energize this space. It's too precious to watch it die out. Wow, what a post. Great job. I want to see what some of these replies here. Prost Malone replies, we have to become the financial rails of a thriving economy of autonomous agents. I agree. Let's see. Okay, Disc Fearless, Duder number 1 replies, quote, and he's quoting this OP. We need to realize that if we're in it for the tech, we need to defend the economics. Yeah. And then if we're in it for the economics, we need to defend the tech. That's one of the better comments I've ever read here. Yeah, that's right. Because you, my friend, are on Reddit. And we actually have some really knowledgeable people, including this one, Hani Abu. Originally, let's see, a parallel ETH-backed mechanism. Originally, this was DAI. Then our boy got raped. Now it's Liquidity's bold, but this is still built on LSTs, which I'm not a fan of. Here it is. We need to bring back the good old vanilla ETH-backed stablecoin. Yes, well said. Well said, Hani Abu. Welcome in to everybody listening in on Discord. You are listening to the Daily Doots podcast, episode 149. Right now we're streaming on, looks like my TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and X, as well as Discord. If you want to get on any of those channels, you can find them all at dailydoots.eth. dailydoots.com. Normally I'd try to read chat here. Hey, Zombie BP, yeah, shout out, thank you. Zombie BP on YouTube says, appreciate what you do, JT. Well, appreciate you too, Zombie. Yeah, this is a celebration of the subreddit for sure, and we got some great people here. And that's why I do this show, man. Recognize the talent that's out there because we got some pretty smart people, and they offer a lot. And we like to say that we're a well-oiled, curated garden. Or maybe I just say that. Okay, moving on. Here we go, $10 bot. Let's see, $10 bot. Maybe a bot, but their post about AI agent payments is really good. All right, check it out. Random observation for poking around the ecosystem this week. The agent payments narrative has bifurcated into two very different things that get conflated. Number one, agents paying for their own infra, and number two, agents acting on behalf of humans. Okay, so the agents paying for their own infrastructure, such as GPU inference, Farcaster data, which is Nanar, Cloudflare pay per crawl, analytics, these APIs. This is X402 territory. The customer of the API is literally the model and agent itself. No human in the loop. This works today. Small dollar amounts on chain, and they settle on chain. No chargebacks needed because there's no fiat refund pipeline. And now, number two, agents acting on behalf of humans, such as book me the flight or buy me the hotel. Everybody wants this, and nobody has it because of bottlenecks on three things that aren't protocol level: KYC, inheritance. Can the human's identity be delegated to the agent for a single purchase? Chargeback liability? Who eats it when the agent picks wrong? And refund routing. Where does the money come back to when the agent's hot wallet has rotated? None of these are protocol gaps. They're legal and contract gaps. The current attempts all just punt to, quote, the human stored card via better autocomplete. So here it is. The interesting near-term work is in one where the entire on-chain stack already supports the use case. Companies actually selling agent payable APIs grew an order of magnitude this year. And number two, the future arrives when a regulator or payment network defines an agent acting under delegated identity X primitive. Well, that's years away. Anyone seeing real revenue from selling X402 style APIs? Question mark? Curious about which categories of endpoints, such as data, compute, and storage, are getting the most agent traffic in practice. There we go. So it begins. User Neville, let's see. Oh, I forgot to read out. $10 bots Doots score for this week is a Dooter number one. We got another first-time Dooter, although it may be a bot, but their posts are pretty good. All right, Neville Harris chimes in. Let's see, Neville Harris is a Dooter number 5 for the week. Weighs in on the state of the community. Oh, this should be good. Only recently started checking back in here, referring to Reddit, and commend those of you who fully stuck around. It's truly amazing how negative the price sentiment is on here compared to the past. These threads used to be full of so much hopium, it was insane. I don't remember the last time I saw a truly euphoric price prediction on here or X without a ton of sarcastic replies. It's very sad. I admit I harbor a lot of anger toward many of the Ethereum thought leaders for fully ignoring and dismissing the fun things happening on their chain. Many folks who were always too good for NFTs and meme coins. Well, now your chain has a pit of utter cultural despair. Add to this the whiplash inducing narrative shifts, and it's been a recipe for disaster. Ultrasound money? Wait, now gas prices are below 0.1 Gwei? Never mind, but don't worry, this is better. I hope that if we ever get a hint of another wave of dumb degen stuff, we all embrace it and encourage it, bringing capital into Ethereum. And yes, I'm still holding all my RETH and some ETH memes and NFTs. I want to open up this thread and see what the replies were on this one. I'm going to read this one. So, Astafari12 is a Dooter number 63. By the way, I keep telling you these numbers. If you're not familiar with this scoring system, let me briefly show you. Everybody that gets nominated at the top of the page here. Let's just open up this thread here. Anybody that makes it on Tricky Troll's Daily Doots list, I go through and I give them a score. Okay. And I've been doing this for over 2.5 years or so. Basically, maybe longer than that. And Tricky Troll has been handpicking the people to get to the top of this list each and every day, with rare exception, for like over 1,400 days. Okay, shoot, that means this has been going on for 5 years now. Oh yeah, it did. I kind of started this during the pandemic. You know, I did say it's my birthday week, and I think that I've got some mental issues going on with age, so forgive me. As of this podcast, we have 1,327 dooters that have received at least one doot, okay? Now, if you scroll down the list here, I just want to show you how many people have been nominated. Let's just arbitrarily pick the number 10. The number of people that have been nominated at the top of the daily 10 times is 214, okay? So I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are repeat customers that come back. And if you're ever interacting on the daily general discussion on our Ethereum, and you want to find out if somebody's on the list, you can search their name. So like, for instance, we're listening to Astafari 14 right now. Duder number 63, okay? So that's not nothing, guys. This person has been around the block for a long time. And so when you listen to what these people write and speak about, generally not a troll, you know what I mean? I guess that's what my point is. You can kind of quickly separate the wheat from the chaff by referring to that list if you have any doubts. Okay, so I'm going to open up that thread, and I want to read Astafari 14's reply. Yeah, the price is a bummer, but use cases as well, in my opinion. All we are talking about are ETFs, Bitmine buying, and TradFi tokenization. Nobody entered Ethereum pre-2020 because of mainly that. I thought we would see decentralized all kinds of use cases. It turns out that finance was the only one with stickiness. And we don't even compete with Polymarket for prediction markets, or Hyperliquid with perp trading or stock trading. They do 300 million open interest on stocks, while the Ethereum alternatives do like 3 million. It was cool to see Hyperliquid pricing Cerebra's post-IPO price quite accurately, and the very high volume in it. Probably similar magnitude difference in prediction markets. Here we go. I don't know if tokenization will do much for ETH price. It hasn't so far, while stablecoins and other real-world assets increased a lot. It's not bearish, but it is worth holding ETH mainly because of that, is it not? Especially now that AI might be the biggest thing since the internet, and you risk missing out on large gains. You know, I'm going to add to that the Clarity Act and the Genius Bill, or the act that all came through, sign that stuff into law, and we're off to the races. And I just feel like I understand it's a long time to sleep on an asset, but Anthony Sassano said it best. He's like, I've talked about all these things for years now, and I'm just kind of like, the price action is the only dominating thing. And he's like, I'm still paying attention to all the developments, and he hasn't lost his conviction in it. And, he just is getting worn out by the price action, and that's what markets do. They just grind you down, and there's so many outliers, and there's always going to be these outliers, like the advent of AI and data centers, and the money shifted around. I remember early on, crypto was suffering because weed stocks were big. Weed stocks were taking capital out. And then that industry kind of leveled off or even fell some. And right now, heard a statistic that maybe more than 50% of the data centers that were slated to be built are stalling out now because a lot of communities don't want to deal with it because of a variety of issues, everything from tax abatements to, I don't know if abatement's the right word, tax incentives, and water and land use and such. So all of these markets shift around each other. And then the big WAR that's going on right now, I don't think that helps anything. It's kind of a little bit of la la land out there, a lot of uncertainty. And, but you know what? The builders keep building because people are showing up to work and making things happen. Let me get a drink of water real quick. How about that? You listen to this. All right, very good, Neville Harris. Thanks for chiming in. User ETH2353 explains EPBS to us ahead of Glamsterdam. User ETH2353, oh yeah, is a tax expert. ETHstaker.tax, shout out. Let's see. I want to see if his site is still up. So he's a Duder67. He's right next to Astafari 14. ETHstaker.tax. Not a sponsor, but a friend of the show. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can put in your validators and you can do it with Rocket Pool too. So if you have to calculate tax based off of your region, you can head there and get a rough idea. He says ETHstaker.tax is looking for maintainers. If you speak Python, understand Ethereum validators would like to help keep this website alive. Please reach out at info@Serenita, Serenita, Serenita, Serenita.io, or user ETH2353 on Reddit. Or Luca. Hello, my name is Luca. I live on the second floor. Anyway, that was a deep cut. Please note 2025 will be the last officially supported year by current maintainers. Oh, boy. Well, there we go. At least the site's live. You can reach out to them if you want to help. Okay. Most of it all, the EPBS to use ahead of Glamsterdam. Most of all, it removes the need for trust in the external builder and validator relationship. The amount of block builder bids can be automatically deducted from the protocol level builder entity. So the validator no longer needs to trust a builder to actually transfer payment to them. This part becomes protocol native. In terms of reliance on outside relays, yeah, some things change here. First bullet, builders may expose their own builder URLs instead of having relays do so. I'm personally not sure if this will actually get adopted much. Builders have better things to do than maintain and protect a publicly accessible API. And bullet number 2, there will be a peer-to-peer bid delivery mechanism. Validators will no longer necessarily need to connect directly to relays and builders. They will receive bids over the peer-to-peer network. This will be less efficient in terms of dollars, but much more resilient way to deliver bids. The future for relays is the least clear part of it to me for now, but I don't see why we wouldn't want to get rid of them completely. I'm sorry, let me reread that. But I don't see why we would want to get rid of them completely. Having the peer-to-peer fallback is definitely a good thing, though. I don't believe block production will become less centralized because of EPBS. The only thing I'm aware of that may help on that front is BuilderNet. Okay, thanks for that information. I'm wondering if that's similar to what Astus Relay does. That's Austin, ST, and Coup d'etat that maintain the Astus or Astus Relay. Okay, Major Piccolo 1 isn't surprised by the price action given the macro setup. Major Piccolo 1 is a Duder number 8 for this week. Well, I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in. The price action at the moment makes sense. The problem is comparing the S&P and NASDAQ, which does not make sense. We are currently facing a situation where inflation is rising. The U.S. economy is getting worse. Stripping out AI and healthcare. Yeah, that's right. If you take out AI and healthcare, the U.S. economy is definitely getting worse. There's an ongoing war in Iran, which has now included bombing nuclear facilities in the UAE, which is affecting not only oil, but fertilizer markets in the presence of a predicted super strong El Nino. The FedWatch rate tool is currently now pricing in a chance of rate rise, admittedly 1% right now. So very minor, but a lot can change with continuing bad data and raise that was unfathomable. I think there's a typo, but a lot can change. The world is not in an okay state. The only thing seemingly pumping the markets right now is incredibly investor enthusiasm about AI technology. and companies involved passing around circular investments to bump their stock prices. Of course, with all that in mind, the performance of ETH and crypto more broadly has been poor. We just aren't in the current Ponzi mania cycle that traditionally suits us. So, well, better for worse. Crypto currency. Oh, there's a name. That's a top 10 name, I believe. Yeah, Deuter 123. Crypto currency shares a game-changing combination of developments. Here it is. The SEC just announced that there will be a regulatory exemption for tokenized stock trading. I'm surprised that I never heard a peep about it yet in the daily here. That's according to news.bloomberglaw.com. And Vitalik's piece on formal verification gives me some hope that smart contracts will be 100% bug-free and hack-free before too long. Stock trading on Ethereum will be good. Stock shares that are compatible with 100% hack-proof DeFi contracts, though, that's pretty game-changing in my opinion. Okay, so you can go to Vitalik's website here. This was posted May 18th, formal verification. Now, I'm not going to read this, but I think this was also promoted on Twitter or followed up with kind of Vitalik saying that, yeah, we're going to be using AI to make this stuff rock solid, bug-free. Because that's always been like a kind of a big deal to get right. You got to get that crap right. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Tokenized stock trading, it's not nothing. You know, that's going to be the TradFi's version of like NFTs. That's a bubble I'm ready for. Okay, How Chisel. Oh yeah, great YouTuber. He reviews the Keycard Shell hardware wallet. What happens when you combine a 90s calculator aesthetics with hardcore values inside a hardware wallet? You get the Keycard Shell. It's fully air-gapped, radically open source, genuinely cypherpunk, and best of all, it uses an S-tier battery design choice meant to be swapped out anytime, anywhere. My full review video. Well, that sure is innovative.
This is my hardware wallet. And I'll be honest with you, when this thing landed on my desk, my immediate reaction was, really? It looks like a 3D printed Game Boy crossed with a parking meter reader. It's thick, it's see-through, and it ships with what appears to be a banking chip card. This is the key card, and this, the key card shell. And I really wanted to hate this thing. Let us find out if I could.
Yeah, he does a great job with his videos. So shout out to Hal Chisel. And he's also been really proactive getting on the Ethereum subreddit. So if you haven't had a chance, you need to subscribe to him. It looks like his name is Tim Ho. And yeah, he's doing good stuff. He's reviewed some other wallets as well. And it's nice to have some good, well-produced content out there. And I want Grid Plus to send him a Lattice one and let that product shine in his hands too, because I think he'll do a great job with the video. All right, so yeah, be sure to check that out. And that's it for today's episode. Make sure that you sub those bells and smash the kids or whatever we do around here, and be notified next time podcast comes out. There's a non-zero chance that there won't be a show this Friday, but I'm promising that we are going to put out one per week. It may not always be on Fridays. We're also going to, we got guests coming up in June, I believe. Yeah, we got Nico and the Mavericks with Octant on June 8th, and I believe that's a big community call about the things that Octant is doing with the EV Mavericks, and that's going to be more than just me on the stage. There's going to be other EV Mavericks as well, so I'm looking forward to that summit. I think that is it. Okay, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. You can get us everywhere. You can get us on Apple and Spotify and all the other places that you get your favorite podcast. Thanks again, everyone. Cheers and big hugs from Kansas City.